Now, Saka has played a lot of minutes. Let's be honest. Saka has played a lot of minutes over the last, I'd say, 15 months. He's played for England. He's been playing for Arsenal. He's been saving us since last season. And people are saying he's tired. He's never really had the time to rest for like 2-3 games. So in the Norwich game, I actually gave him a 6 out of 10. I did not think he stood out that much. So my question is, do you think he should be rested for a couple of games?
Well, definitely. I mean, if you think about it because I think there are a couple of perspectives you can, think about this. If you think about it in that perspective, where you're concerned about the health and career of a player, of a young player who's just turned 20 at the moment, Saka. Yeah, you're gonna say, yeah, he needs to rest. He needs some time off. But again, we're trying to string together the strongest 11 we can. At the moment, we do not know. We've seen ourselves playing with 5 centre backs, 5 defenders, and then we are thumped 5. So we're still we're still looking for that rhythm. Like I said, you're still looking for that kind of, you're still looking for that kind of 11 that you think is your best 11. And I think Saka. Okay, I do not think it's by fact. Saka is one of our best players. Amid this criticism, to players like Pepe and Willian, you can see the level at which Saka has been there consistently. It is something that you admire so much. It's something that you love to see as a fan. You could just, you just imagine if Arsenal had 11 consistent players or 7 consistent players, would be very, very different, would be in a very different position. So personally, I think it needs time to rest. Like you said, last season we were carried by Saka on his back. That is what happened. We literally, we were Saka FC. We could do nothing without Saka. And that, puts a lot of pressure on the youngster. And I'm going to say, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Saka, the way he has handled the pressure. That is because when you're a youngster and you get 2-3 good games, a lot of pressure piles onto your head, onto your heels. You've got to, you want to keep it up. You want to even, perform better. But I think he's held it, very well. He's managed it very well. Whoever is helping him to do that, whether it's, Ateta, or he has a personal coach, I don't know. But I think he's done that persistently and consistently well. So yes, he needs the time off. But at the moment, as a club, as a national fan, I don't think we can afford the luxury of giving him that time to rest. Because if you look at our front four, let me say front four. Odegaard, Smith Rowe, we do still have a big problem there. Who can create 11 to 15 chances, assists? In a season. That's one of the problems. If you drop Smith Rowe and you go with Martin Odegaard, can he be as consistent as Saka? Because Saka is that consistent. Last season, performing at a top level, he did it. This season, performing at a top level, he has already started getting his boots on. He has already started getting the running at defenses and doing the sorts of things like that. So I still think. Yeah, you think about it, but at the moment, I think his career has just started. You're not going to rest him. We are in a very, very bad situation. We can't rest Saka. It's absolutely out of the picture because Pepe is not delivering at the moment. At least not at the level we want him to. So the moment you drop Pepe and you're gonna introduce probably Gabriel Martinelli. So you could have Gabriel and Saka playing on the flank. So I don't see anywhere how Saka gets this time to rest unless he picks up an injury, which is again something that you have to think about in the perspective. If he picks up an injury, it's more likely to be a bad one because he's played so many minutes. He's tired, and he's excited as a young player. He's excited. His dream was to play for Arsenal. He didn't think it's going to come this early. He didn't think he's going to do it to that level where he's the main man. He is the main man. when it comes to scoring goals, it all depends. How is Saka? Where is he? What does he do with the ball? What kind of decisions he's making? What kind of actions he's making? Is he going to make on the ball? So the moment Arsenal fail, to realize how important Saka is, probably we lose him to an injury. It's gonna be bad. So I'm a bit scared. I'm a bit scared because if he gets out, if he gets injured, where do we go from? Where do we go from here? Very, very scared. But we like I said, we can't afford the luxury. We would want to rest him. We care about Saka, but we can't afford the luxury. We have around 3 players that are doing well. One is Lokonga. The other is Saka. I think those are the 2 at the moment that I can point out to be, consistently outstanding, because I've seen Lokonga for a couple of now 3 games. I think he's consistent. I think he's good.
Yeah.
I've seen Saka, with all, for all the reasons in the world, we've got to say Saka is good and consistent. Tierney this season, not the best for me, but I would still say, you can rely on him. You can definitely rely on him. And of course, what a debut for Timiyasu. But I think those are the 3 players that you can say have been a little bit consistent, at the moment. So you can't drop one of your. It's like Ole putting off Ronaldo and then you lose the game. Everybody's gonna say, "Come on, you put off Ronaldo and we lost the game." You are absolutely clueless. So at the moment, we cannot, we cannot drop Saka. We cannot rest. We cannot afford the luxury, to drop Saka.
Yeah, we'll come back to Saka. I can see Lewis says there's something up with YouTube with thumbnails. Canon Fodder saying that as well. Yep, absolutely out of our control. I uploaded a thumbnail, but YouTube has a problem at the moment. So yeah, let's hope they sort it out soon. Thumbnails are very important. You can ask because thumbnails are very important on YouTube. So yeah, so on Saka, I mean, yes, he's played. I think he played. Obviously, played the Norwich game. Did he play the first game? I don't remember if he played the Brentford game. I've literally forgotten about that game. And the City game, I think he was taken off. I think at halftime or something. And the Chelsea game he also played in. So what have you made of his performances this season so far?
I think. Look, I'm gonna be very honest, because that's what YouTube is about. You speak your mind out. I don't think he's been top class. I don't know. I mean, actually, it's not I don't know, but it is clear. Like you said, he's played so many games with England. He took part in the Euros, and I didn't expect him to play those many games. I didn't expect him to. I thought he had gone, but Southgate, for me, surprised me. And after the Euros, the season starts, and there you are. We need the hero, Saka. So I don't think he's played, the way we know him and the way we understand Saka. I don't think he's done that, but he's gonna get back there. In the last game against Norwich, you could see not the Saka, not the Saka that is just making everything happen. Because for me, that is what he's all about, making things happen for Arsenal, and that's why he's the most important player in that squad. Despite the fact that all players are important, he's a unit, but he makes things happen. He's not yet done that for me consistently this season, but I know he's gonna do it, because against Norwich, again, I could see those little flashes from him. You could sense the flashes. I think he just needs the consistency, a string of games playing, consistently together with the team, and it's gonna come back. But he's not yet played there, and you can see. There's some tired legs. You can sense some tired legs, some heavy feet. But I think it's gonna get back. That's what you do as a footballer. If World Cup is made 2 years, every 2 years, like Arsene Wenger wants it to be, players have got to work, have got to get used to this. We are not playing in Europe, because if we are if we're playing in Europe, say Europa League, he's got to get used to this. He's 20 now, still young, but that is where the world is going. I mean, if City bought him at the moment, they would buy him at 100 million. 100 million, you're not playing one game and resting three, or three games and resting two. You're playing 38 games in the league. You're playing 20 games in the Champions League. You're playing 2 or 3 games in the Carabao Cup and things like that. So I think it's just, he's young, he's getting used to it. If he can overcome that period, if he can overcome that burnout, because I know he has the burnout. If he can overcome the burnout, then it's going to be good to go. So for me, starting with the Tottenham Hotspur game, I think we will try to see, we will start to see the real Saka. But definitely the burnout is there. The burnout is there.
Which position do you think is his favorite? Do you prefer him? Because I saw one of your lineup videos and you actually put him, I think, at right wing back. So do you think he should play at right wing back, left wing back, number 10? We've never really had him as a number 10 in that many games. Right wing or left wing? Which one do you think is his favorite position? Or we can get the best out of him?
Yeah, I think if we are playing with him with Pepe, I think we got the best out of them. Pepe playing down, is it down the left, and then Saka playing more like an inverted winger. It worked for me so well. I really liked it when he's playing like an inverted winger, because he gets to shoot more at goal. He gets to be more direct, right, rather than crossing in, because we know Kiantiani can cross in 100 times or 200 times in a game. It's never gonna give us anything. We don't have players that get that are getting at at the back of these crosses, right? So for me, the crossing doesn't work. I would prefer him working as an inverted winger. Put him on the right hand side. Let him use his left foot, but as an inverted right winger. And that gives, and for me again, that brings out the best of Nicola Pepe, because Pepe really, he's tried to be this kind of right winger that Mikel Arteta wants him to be, but it's not working out. It's not really working out. So for me, his Saka's best position, get him into that right wing position and let him operate as an inverted winger. Players do operate like that, and I think it works really well. It helps him a lot. He's gonna score more goals, because that is one of the things he has to add on his game: score more goals. That's one of the things that will, absolutely. That's one of the things that is lacking on his game. And that's why a couple of people, including me, feel there is that gap between him and Phil Foden, because Phil Foden scores important goals for Manchester City, right? If he can do that, if Saka can do that, and the only way he's gonna do that is if we can let him play as an inverted winger, which allows him operate as a semi-striker. It's gonna do well for him. It's gonna help him out. Look at Mason Greenwood. The amount of goals Mason Greenwood scores and how important they are. He's gonna stand out more than Saka, despite the fact that Saka is a very, very good player. So I prefer him working as an inverted winger. Give him that opportunity, and I think it might help him, as a player in his career. I don't know what you think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he's one of the most in terms of diverse. How do you say the word diversity? Yeah, he can, he's very good. Like he can do different things. He can cross the ball. Yes, he definitely needs to improve on his scoring. I think he misses too many one-on-one chances, and not just him. Smith Rowe as well. In terms of finishing, they have room for improvement. I think he's okay with both feet. He doesn't mind using his right foot as well. So I usually prefer him as maybe a left wing back than a right wing back. But I understand what you're saying in terms of inverted winger. Do you think he has the capability of being like a Mahrez or a Robin? Those guys are pretty good from cutting in from the right side, and Salah as well. I've never thought Pepe has matched up to those guys in terms of cutting in and shooting the ball. I've seen Pepe so many times, even against Norwich. He turns and then shoots the ball over. I don't know how many times he can do that. Like every time he cuts in, shoots the ball off target. So do you think Saka can be a threat like Mahrez or something in the next couple of years? That's
yeah. I mean, again, that's my problem with Mikel and his and the backroom. It's still my biggest problem, because I still think a player as young as Bukayo Saka,
Yeah.
it's like it's like Lokonga. They have not decided. You could do, and yes, they have they have those attributes that show you what they want to be or what they're good at, but you could turn them into anything. If we had a good manager with experience, say Arsene Wenger, if he was available, or if he was our manager, I think we would get to see more from this squad and more from players like Bukayo Saka. But because again, you don't blame Mikel. It is his CV. It is his. That is all he's got. He's been at City and as assistant manager, and then promoted as head manager at Arsenal. So I still think Saka does have those abilities. He can be a Grealish. I mean, he's faster than Grealish, but he can be a Grealish. He can be a Mahrez. He can be that kind of player. Cut in and bend it, right? Find those top and low bottom corners. He's good. I think in that Norwich game, he had he had that chance, and he put it far. He put it far wide. So if he can have such attempts like three to four such attempts on goal, yeah, I think he can do it. Look at Trent. Let's talk about Trent just as an example, and look at what Klopp has made of Trent. A right back that is an automobile, right?
Yeah.
That guy is I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. He's a dynamite. If Saka had the guidance of a man like Jurgen Klopp, this is no disrespect to Mikel, but we all know he would be a better player. Because for me as a manager, you've got to see it. This young man is very poor at finishing. What are you doing to help him? Because for me, Saka's finishing is not improving, and there are no attempts to show that there is something going on, behind the scenes to help him. Nothing. But that's it. He's very poor at finishing. Put him as an inverted winger and help him with his finishing. The moment Tierney's crosses come in and no one meets them, he's gonna fall onto the right foot of Saka, and he's gonna have the whole a wider version, a wider look at goal because he's playing at in an inverted position. But that is not happening, and I still blame it on the manager. I don't know if Mikel is gonna bring out the best of these young lads. I don't know. Absolutely don't know. But I still think he can be a great player. More like I don't think his talent is gonna drive to that level of Iron Robin. Probably with years, the experience and things like that. But I think with again, Riyad Mahrez has more more entertaining features to his game. If you've watched him, yes, very, very, very entertaining. I think inborn entertaining features and elements to his game. Saka is, for me, why I love Saka, by the way, is he's a very direct player. Very direct.
Yeah.
He's gonna run. He's gonna show. He's gonna show that I'm gonna run and I'm gonna run better than you. That's what he does. I'm gonna put it there and I'm gonna run faster than you and I'm gonna get it to I'm gonna get to that ball, cross it, and God knows what happens. So if you can mold him into that player with a goal mentality, because it doesn't have it. How many times does Saka try to score? If we can create that goal mentality in Saka, he can't give us 10 goals in a season consistently. 10 goals and above. I'm not saying 10, but I'm saying 10 goals and above in a season. He can do that consistently. Same goes with the like of Smith Rowe. If you can't make him assist oriented, make him goal oriented, because he's gonna get in those positions. Let him be that number 10 that gets into those positions. It all goes back to, do you have a manager that can influence? Because I've spoken it before in my podcast that if you bring in Conte, does he believe in these young kids? Does he believe in the project? It's the same with Mikel. He believes in the project, but has he got the material? Has he got what is needed to bring out the best in the Martinellis, the Sakas, the Tierney's, the Smith Rowes? Has he got those lenses that can foresee what these players are going to become? Because that is what his job is. He has to look ahead, look into the futures. He's more like, what are they called? They're called fortune tellers. Now he's more like a fortune teller, right? Look at these players, read their futures, and try to drive them down that path. Does he have that visionary? Does he have the lens? I don't know. I don't know really.
So a couple of people agree with you. Some good points there. So let's take a couple of comments about Saka. Canon for the high Alex, he says, a tired Saka is no use to Arsenal. This opens him up to picking up an injury. And do you think Saka would, if he, let's say, he plays 20 games in a row, will he really pick up an injury? Do you think, like with his young legs, he's good to go?
Now, I think with the way he plays, he will pick up an injury. He will pick up an injury. And because, like we said, the burnout it might be a bad injury, right? Might be a bad injury. But, the way he plays is that, he loves having the ball and then use it for whatever is in his head. That is him. He's not a Jadon Sancho that gets the ball, passes it around, receives it back, and then releases it. Because he's so different from Sancho. Very, very different. Saka loves to run with the ball. If he was a midfielder, I would say he's a Jack Wilshere. They love having the ball because they have something in their head, and they're like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to make things happen, and that's what he's all about. He wants to make things happen, and many times he's gonna be, and we've seen it already. Many times he's caught on the ball, many times, and I think he's the most forward player in Arsenal, isn't he?
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
He should be. He should be the most forward player, at Arsenal. And the reason is easy. He never gets that ball and then just thumps it forward. He never. At least he'll have 2 or 3 forward touches before releasing it to someone, or he will try, he decide to dribble and drive, a longer mile for longer miles before, picking up a pass. So he will pick up the injury. He will pick up the injuries.
Hopefully not. Raymond agrees with you. He says all we need for our coach and players is consistency and more effort so that good will come out. I actually thought that you said the coach needs to improve the players, but yeah, we definitely need all of them to work together. It can't be one person. Ashton says if Arsenal are truly building for the future, rest Saka for a month. Would you do that?
I mean, he puts it well. If Arsenal are truly building for the future, rest Saka for a month. I mean, again, it's two-way, by the way. It's twofold. One is you rest the player to save him from burnout. The other is by resting him, you're actually cutting a live wire. You don't know if he comes back, is he gonna pick up from where he left. So he needs the many games to establish himself and write statements. Again, he needs the rest to do away with the burnout. So it's twofold. It's absolutely twofold. But for me, a player who's not going to play in Europa League, Champions League, it's gonna be weeks, without playing football. You play on Saturday, you play again on the coming Saturday. Those 7 days with light training should be enough. They should be enough. So really, I mean, if he is the core foundation, if people don't know, I just feel like he's the core foundation to whatever we are trying to build. He has just made himself the core foundation. We are building around him. I don't know if Kroenke won't wake up and be like, let someone give us some money in Saka. But if we are building for the future, then he is part of the core foundation. He is the core foundation. Because if you look at the other players, they are not as important at the moment as Saka. If he goes away, you just feel like, So resting him for a month is going to affect him at the end of the day. What if you rest him and maybe Martinelli becomes undroppable, Pepe becomes undroppable? What do you do?
Yeah, very true,
So
very true.
it's,
So,
it's different. It's very
Amand,
different and very difficult. But you know what I would do is
mhm.
I would play him. For example, in this month he's played against Norwich. In the coming game, I would definitely play him, and then probably leave him out for Tottenham. Just
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, I
a
mean,
month,
yeah.
a month out would be very long. A month out would be very, very
Yeah,
long.
Mark
To
has
rest
to
him
be,
for a month.
at least 2 game weeks, but not successive, not following each other.
Very, very true. So Saka, obviously, I've put a poll in the chat, so make sure to vote. Should Saka be rested or should he keep on playing? So the other thing that can make someone play well or play poorly is the players that are playing around him. So last season, I noticed he really enjoyed playing with Lacazette up front, for example. And that's why there's a goal he scored against West Brom the time last season, not the game this season, the time we played against them last season. And also this season, he actually had a good game against West Brom as well. So do you think he should be playing with Aubameyang or should he be playing with Lacazette or both of them? Which one do you think suits him more? So that's, which one suits him more, Lacazette or Aubameyang?
I think one of the things and I don't know how I got to do this, but one of the things I've done this season, as it started, is I've watched strikers in the Premier League. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because of Cristiano and Lukaku, but my focus has been on Romelu Lukaku, really. And I've seen players like Bamford. I've seen players like Raul Jimenez, Odsonne Edouard, Christian Benteke, Romelu Lukaku, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mason Greenwood playing in that position as a striker as well, and Aubameyang. The truth is, Aubameyang does not engage the team. I mean, we've got to say this. He's one of the best, and everyone who watches my channel says, "Kausi, you love Leno and you love Aubameyang," and I do. I do love them. I just love them. That's it. It's my loyalty to them. But Aubameyang does not involve and does not engage play. He doesn't do the hold up well. He doesn't do it. Because if you watched, even if you watched Chelsea yesterday or the highlights, you could just say you could just see what Lukaku does. He gets that ball, waits for the likes of Mason Mount, Kovacic, and Jorginho to arrive, and then as they arrive, the likes of Rhys James are picking up their places up front. So what he does is, he picks it up, he gets it, holds it, releases it to Mason Mount, who immediately becomes now the number 10, and then Lukaku occupies the number 9 position up front. And that's what he does. And, he's going to run and create a lot of spaces for the likes of Ziyech and the likes of Kai Havertz. So I expect Ziyech or Havertz to have more goals, by the way, this season, because that's what Lukaku gives you. It's something with Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez picks up that ball at the center line, and then he allows the likes of Adama to run, the likes of Trincao to run, and as the likes of Ruben Neves are approaching. When they approach, he releases it to them and then runs up front. So Ruben Neves literally becomes that number 10 or number 8 in a creative position. He could release anyone, or he could just hold play and dance with the rhythm. It depends. Aubameyang doesn't do that. And that's why Saka is good with Lacazette, Smith Rowe is good with Lacazette, and Odegaard is better with Lacazette. Because what Lacazette does is he gives us the time to approach the enemy. He gives us the time. With Aubameyang, you either hit that ball, which those long balls are never going to be accurate, right? They're never going to be accurate. So we are always not having possession. We are always not in possession because the striker we have cannot hold the ball, right, for that long. And I think with Lacazette, I think he supports Smith Rowe and Saka better, because the moment he comes out to hold the ball, Saka fills up his position, right? And that's why we saw many chances missed by Saka last season. And we're like, oh no, Saka should be finishing this, because he's actually getting in these positions better and more, right? So I think he works better with Alexander Lacazette. Lacazette has he's got the magnets. He's got the magnets to engage other players. He's got he's not so good. Not the best clinical finisher like Aubameyang. At the end of the day, he is the kind of striker that Arsenal need. That kind of striker that stands, steps on that ball, and says, "Come on, guys, get into the position. Get into position. I'm gonna give you the ball." Then after that, runs back into his position and probably could have tap in. So I think he works better. Saka and the team as a whole work better with Alexander Lacazette.
Speaking of Lacazette, that's our second topic. Lacazette has not had that many minutes this season. So my question is, where does Lacazette fit in? Do you think it's just going to be coming on when we're 1-0 down for the last 20 minutes to try and save us and get us a goal? Do you think we'll end up with Aubameyang on the left side again and Lacazette up front? And which one would you do personally? Would you have both of them? Because Lacazette is about to leave Arsenal. So do you think also that matters a lot?
I think it's a good topic, by the way, because it's one that has had a lot of division in the Arsenal fan base, especially on whether he needs to go or he needs to stay. My stand on his transfer was, if you get someone who gives you the money, get it. Don't let him go on a free, right?
Yeah.
Because I think we had the perfect opportunity to sell him. We had the perfect, because he had off the back of a very good campaign last season. That is where we needed to sell him, right? I mean, in my opinion, many people might agree, many people might disagree. That's what I think. I think we could have sold him this summer because he had a very, very good campaign last summer. But what should we do with Lacazette? We have seen, and this is a little bit being ruthless, we have seen that the team works better around him. The team works well with around him. The likes of Martin Odegaard, they do because Odegaard wants link-up play, Saka wants link-up play, Pepe also wants link-up play. The one who can provide the link-up play is Alexander Lacazette. Get him in. Right? Get him in. You have him. Get him in. I don't care if he had gone, because if he had gone, probably we could have an Hudson-Odoi. And you remember what I told you about Hudson? Did you see what Hudson did over the weekend, bro? I told you. Hudson is a striker, man. I was watching with my brother here, Alan, and we were so disappointed with Ayew. The kind of chances are you at the panicking. I was like, what are you doing? What are you panicking? And Hudson-Odoi is brought on. First touch is controlling the ball. The second touch is finding the back of the net.
Both feet as well, by the way. I think
both feet as well. Look, I don't want to overhype him, but he was a bargain, bro. He was a bargain. And now I've seen the team is looking for signings in January. He was a bargain. You could get Hudson-Odoi.
Can you believe we didn't go for him?
Definitely. He was a bargain. 1 year left on his contract.
I mean, that's so crazy that we didn't go for him. And it's very cheap as well.
Yeah. So with Alexander Lacazette, this season, I think he should be our number 9. Now, the problem with Aubameyang is that he's getting his captain and he's getting excessive wages.
Yeah.
So, and he's getting excessive wages on a contract that he signed after being convinced by Mikel Arteta and Edu. Right? So there is no way you're dropping him unless otherwise. There's no way there's no way Mikel Arteta is just gonna drop him. So I think by the end, we could go back to a situation where Aubameyang plays on the left, Saka on the right, and then you have Lacazette in the middle. Because I think Arteta is a little bit lucky that Pepe is not working. Pepe has not, things have not started working out for Pepe. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna say, you see what, Pepe is not working out. I'm gonna introduce Lacazette. And I'm going to put Aubameyang off the left. right? And I think it's gonna, that's what it's gonna do. But what I would do personally is I would put Alexander Lacazette number 9, Saka inverted wing, right wing inverted. Make sure he's inverted, and still play Pepe. Because those games when Pepe had the best out, when we got the best out of Pepe, Lacazette was number 9, right? And he's very, it's very easy to see. He gets that ball in the dangerous areas. He cannot turn to score. So what he has to do is he has to drop to, he has to fall back to an arriving Pepe who's gonna find, the bottom corner or the top corner, or he's gonna fall back to an arriving Odegaard or fall back to an arriving Saka. So I think what I would do, by the way, is drop Aubameyang for now.
Give me a lineup. Give me a lineup. Lacazette, you say that's a number 9.
Yeah, Lacazette, central striker.
Okay, and then Pepe, left or right?
Pepe right. Pepe left. Pepe left.
Pepe left.
Yeah, Pepe left.
And then on the right, you want Saka.
Yeah.
So you put Saka on the right. Okay.
So what I would do
like it to look like.
Yeah, what I would do is I would let Aubameyang fight for that left wing position with Nicola Pepe, and in the end I think Aubameyang can win it. Because unlike my problem with Aubameyang is if you play him on the left, if he's bad, he's too bad, right? He's too bad.
Very bad. Yeah.
And if you play him as a striker, like we saw against probably big clubs against Manchester City, if there is no supply, he's useless. He's absolutely useless, right? And that's why you need players like that's where Lacazette comes in. At least Lacazette can hold on to, can put some pressure on the likes of Ruben Diaz or something like that, or someone like that, so that you do not have the whole team falling onto you, right? So I play Alexander Lacazette.
Wow, so that's how your team would look like. I know you like Lokonga, so Lokonga goes there next to Partey. So you'd be happy with that, with Partey and Lokonga on either side.
Yeah, definitely. I would.
Okay, we know the defense. We know the defense remains the same. Tierney, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, and White.
Yeah.
We'll come to the goalkeeper situation later. So this is how you'd go. I really don't know about dropping Aubameyang. Now, listen, I always say I know he's not been at the top of the game, and I know Lacazette was our best striker last season. I've tried to figure out how we can fit both of them, and then because I actually think we could have the answer. So let's go to
Hey, you're gonna like this.
Oh, sorry for that. I think Glenn is off, but he'll be back in a second. Right. Of course, we're still talking about that striker situation at Arsenal. My thoughts are, and my thoughts have been always clear. I prefer the clinical striker. I love clinical strikers. I love Lewandowski. I love Erling Haaland. I love Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And that's the reason, by the way, that's the only reason as to why I love Aubameyang. Most people ask me, Casey, why do you love Aubameyang so much? I mean, what does Aubameyang have to do? What does Lacazette have to do to be fancied by you? The reason as why I love Aubameyang so much is easy. He's clinical. When he gets the chances, he buries them. But again, if it comes to the way we play, the style, and things like that, it goes back to who engages the team more, and I think that is Alexander Lacazette. So probably Alexander Lacazette could be our man. Yeah, Glen is back, but for me, I love the clinical strikers. If Lacazette can be clinical, well and good, but if he can't be clinical, I'll never side with him. Welcome back, Glen.
Technology sucks, doesn't it? Technology absolutely sucks. I opened too many tabs, it froze up.
Yeah.
So I was saying the only way to fix it is to play a back five. Would you be happy playing a back five to fit both players? No,
playing a back five to fit in both players. I mean, how does it look like? Like playing a 3-5-2?
Yeah. I'll show you how. But like having Aubameyang, Lacazette as the strikers, both of them, and then Saka as the left wing back. You'd be happy with that?
It just doesn't feel so right for me to try so hard to find a place for a player who's not who doesn't deserve it. But
yeah,
again, I love Aubameyang. Everybody knows that. So my answer is gonna be, if we play a 3-5-2, and we can, because my problem with the 3-5-2 is at times you're a little bit, it's like you're sitting back. You need, at times you need to go all out for these, when you're playing the likes of Aston Villa, the likes of, Brighton. You need to go all out, show them your style, show them your thing. Actually, I would love to have Pepe, Saka, Aubameyang, Smith Rowe, and Odegaard when I'm playing, Watford. At times I just want us to play beautiful football going forward, right? So my problem with the back five is we are playing a back three, and then you have Saka, who's got the responsibilities. It is now more like a double responsibility on the shoulders of Saka. You've got to defend, right? You've got to cover.
That's why you're hoping your three central midfielders or two central midfielders are very good, and your wing backs and your three central defenders are very good as well.
Yeah.
Which I think we have. Let me show you what I'm saying. Let me now show you what I'm saying. In case it hangs again, don't worry. It's just the laptop, but I'm hoping it doesn't though. So let me show you what I mean. I hope you can see that. So you put Aubameyang and Lacazette in those positions. Saka as the left wing back, Tomiyasu as the right wing back. Obviously, you could have anyone there. You could have Cedric, you could have Saka on the other side. Just depends on you. Odegaard as the number 10. Obviously, in this position, that leaves let's put Partey there, and then next to him we put Lokonga. Partey, and then we put Lokonga next to him. Wouldn't you be happy with that attacking?
Yes,
yes, we'll be missing Pepe and Smith on the pitch, yes.
Yeah.
But that would allow you to have both Aubameyang and Lacazette on the pitch at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I'll play Tomiyasu, in the back three, though. Yeah. Play Tomiyasu. You know why? Tomiyasu is not an explosive right back. I've just seen it. I just saw it. He's not. He doesn't love the fancies and luxuries of going forward and creating beautiful stuff there. Now.
Okay, so who do you put there?
He's more of this kind of right backs that are just, get the ball, drive it until, until the winger, right? Get it to the midfield and then, pass it around there. How many times did he try to cross the ball in the Norwich game?
I mean, not that many times, but I like the way he was. He knows how to position himself. So anytime he went forward to shoot the ball, he knew when to come back.
I still think defensive-wise he's a very good player. Very, very good.
So you'd have, that's how I'd have it, but I understand what you're saying. So you'd bring Tomiyasu in the Ben White position, right?
Now, I would play Ben White. I'll play Gabriel where Tierney is.
Yeah, Gabriel where Tierney is. Let's put Gabriel where Tierney is. And then you have white where Gabriel is, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, so many Gabriels, man. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Which one is which one? Let's
You,
move
you,
Gabriel here.
you could
Let's remove
select.
Gabriel. Let's remove Tierney here. So you want on the left side we put Gabriel.
Yeah.
So Gabriel goes there. How I wish it was Gabriel Jesus. I actually think you'd do a good job at Arsenal. And then next to him, you put Ben White. Would you have Tomiyasu as a center guy?
No.
I've changed it again, man. So stupid. Let's put Tomiyasu here. I'm guessing this is how these guys usually are. The likes of Atito, and they're making the squad so confused like I am. Like, why do we play this one? So we put Gabriel there, and then in the Ben White position, put him there.
Put Ben White at center.
You'd be happy with that. You'd be happy with that back line. You'd be happy with keeping clean sheets.
Yeah.
I really want to know who you're putting in the Tomiyasu role.
Okay. So, I mean, there's a big question there, right? There's that's a very big one. But play for because I don't expect a lot of runs from Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is gonna basically in the back three. Tomiyasu covers for Ben White because Ben White is so adventurous, loves going forward. You know that when we know. But you have Lokonga there, who can cover for Tomiyasu, right? So I would switch Saka to this side.
Switch Saka to the other right
and
side.
then Tierney plays as my my left midfield winger.
Okay.
There's Saka, exactly.
Tierney on the left side. You'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
And Odegaard remains, or would you bring in Smith Rowe?
Odegaard remains.
That's probably the only way we could have both Aubameyang and Lacazette on the pitch. That is actually the only way we could have both Aubameyang and Lacazette on the pitch. Unless you guys in the comment section,
unless we play 4-4-2.
You really have to have strong midfielders. We cannot play 4-4-2 unless Pat and Lokonga are going to play every single game. And when you used to play a 4-4-2 with Diomberg and Pires on the wings, or Ray Parla on the wings, or someone, they used to be very energetic. And then the left back, Ashley Cole, and the right back, Lauren, used to be very good. And then Hondry used to come to the middle. Barkamp was very good creative. You have to have very strong midfielders. Of course, you can't play a 4-4-2 if you have Wilshere and Ramsey. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I think that would look decent enough. If you have Smith Rowe from the bench, if you have players like maybe Niles or the Pablo Maris on the bench, I think that would work out. I don't know about you guys in the comment section. Hi, man. How are you? David says, did you see my formation on Twitter? Not really. Just let me know what formation you are going for. Let me know what formation you are going for. So personally, this season, just last question on Lacazette, do you think he's going to get that many minutes?
I think he will get the minutes. I think he'll get the minutes of last season's performances. He'll get the minutes.
Okay, so David, I'll just check on Twitter right now. I see what your formation was. So as I said, Lacazette, Aubameyang, and then Tierney on the left. That would allow Tierney to bomb forward, and that would be amazing. So I've gotten your formation, David. He actually goes for a back five with Saka on the left side, Tomiyasu on the right side, Tierney, Gabriel, and Ben White as the center backs, just like I'd put, and then Thomas Partey and Lokonga in the middle. But he's changed Odegaard to Smith Rowe, so he's going to play Smith Rowe and Pepe in behind Aubameyang. That is what he'd go for. So I think Odegaard is really quite good for us. So that we don't keep the video too long, you can see there's one position there that we've left without anyone, the goalkeeper situation. Who do you think should be playing as a goalkeeper? Because I've heard a German journalist saying Leno is just getting rested for a couple of games and then comes back straight in. So do you think it's a good idea to rotate goalkeepers? Are you happy with Leno playing 2 games, Ramsdale 2 games? If this one makes a mistake, you bring back the other one. Are you happy with that, or do you want one goalkeeper for 38 games?
For me, it's absolute crap. It's absolute crap. I mean, goalkeepers are not... You need to find a goalkeeper, definitely. When they have 10 good goalkeepers, we have 20 good goalkeepers. You need to find a good goalkeeper. You need to find, your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You need to.
Who would you have?
So, for me, Yeah, I've seen Christian Falk. He said
Mm.
that Leno is coming back, in the Tottenham game. He's gonna be rested for this for the Norwich. He was rested for the Norwich game. He's gonna be rested for what's the coming fixture? Brighton.
We have over the weekend we have Burnley and then Wimbledon and
Okay,
then
Burnley. Yeah,
Tottenham.
Burnley. Yeah, it's Burnley. So it's gonna be also out for the Burnley game. But my thoughts are Ramsdale at some point in time is going to become Arsenal's number one this season, and the reason is I think he tries to do a little bit. He tries to a little bit do what Mikel Arteta wants. Try to play out from the back. He's not. He doesn't have, weak feet, shaky legs like Leno, right?
Yeah.
And I've also seen he's so decisive, very very decisive as a goalkeeper, very decisive. There are times when you just need to kick that ball away, and he does it. There are times when you just need to pass it to the next person, and he does. I don't think his passing is solid like Manuel Neuer.
His
but
dribbling is. I saw him dribbling past a player against Norwich. Wow.
I was scared. I was really scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alisson.
Yeah, Alisson
Yeah.
better. I think I'd say better.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna be very hard to drop Leno, right? It's going to be very hard to drop Leno because, like I've already said, we've not seen the worst of Leno. We've not seen, instances where you feel like we have lost two matches and it is clearly on the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I think we have many of the goals we concede are avoidable goals. Many of the goals we concede can be dealt with. Look at them. Look at that Manchester City game. The first goal, the shortest player on the pitch is heading home.
Yeah.
I mean, why would I blame Leno? Look at the second goal. Gabriel Jesus is having a tap in after Grealish beating Cedric, Chambers, and Holding. Why would I blame
the ball? He even controlled the ball in our 6-yard box and turned and actually shot the ball.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
So, look at the Lodri goal. Why is Lodri free shooting in that range? I mean, why does he have all the time and the space? And because he has the time, he has the space, the ball arrives, and then he just picks the corner perfectly. He has the time on the ball. He's got the time to think and to execute the plan. So if anyone thinks Leno is the problem, they are just as good as people who say, "Oh, we are losing games because of FTV." Come on, come on. It sounds funny, but ridiculous as well. You can't say we are losing games because of a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We are not.
If you're losing games because of a goalkeeper, your goalkeeper is very bad.
It's very very bad.
Very very bad. That means like you'd have to make some really some mistakes that you can't like even correct. Like literally very bad mistakes. I don't think he's made that many mistakes. Listen, I do know Leno does put his defenders in some terrible positions. I remember Guendouzi. Like Guendouzi is surrounded by 3 players and then he passes the ball to him in the middle. You can't do that. I remember Sabias as well. You cannot do that to the passing. So if Leno's not passing the ball from the back and he's just clearing the ball, I think Leno is actually a very good shot stopper. The saves he made. I think Lukaku had like 9 shots against us and he saved a few. Also against City could have been 10 goals. Against Brentford, he does make a couple of mistakes. Brentford, I do know he should never have considered from the near post. That was a very very huge mistake. So which one would you go for? So to answer the first question, are you happy with rotation? You've said no, you want one goalkeeper. Okay, and the second one, who would you go for the Premier League games from what you've seen? We've seen both of them this season. Ramsdale twice, Leno 3 times.
I want to get carried away. Sort out the defense. Make sure I do not, concede stupid chances. Don't give away stupid chances and keep Leno in goal.
Okay, so that's what Cozy would do. Let's take a few comments. Tweets, and thank you for liking the video. Make sure to like the video, everyone. I appreciate it. Tweets say, my team versus Burnley, Ramsdale in goal, Tierney, Gabriel White, and Tomiyasu at the back, Patton, Lokonga in midfield, Smith, I guess Pepe on the right, Smith Rowe as number 10, Martinelli on the left, Lacazette up front. Wow, would you be happy with that? Because he's dropped Aubameyang, he's dropped Saka, he's dropped Odegaard, he's dropped Niles from the previous game. That's 4 different, the four changes. Would you do that? Too many changes?
I don't want to see Niles back in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to
What
see.
about the others? Martinelli ahead of Saka?
No. Again, no.
Smith Rowe ahead of Odegaard?
No.
Lacazette ahead of Aubameyang?
Yeah.
So you'd make 2 changes. So Partey in for Niles and Lacazette in for Aubameyang. Okay.
Let me tell something, and this is gonna be crazy, and for me it is true. If I have a player like Houssem Aouar, or if I have a player like which other very good, number 8 do I know? If I have a player like Frankie De Jong, do you know what kind of pivot I would play at Arsenal?
Yeah. Go ahead.
What's that?
Like 2 players. You'd play probably as a number 8. You'd play one player. You'd play one player and then 2 players on the side. Would you have let's say I know you wouldn't have Xhaka. Are you asking about the formation about the player? Which player you play?
just the pivot. Just the pivot.
I know you'd play one player and then 2 players either side of him. So I guess you'd play. I know you'd have Partey bombing forward. So I guess you'd play. There's no one I can really think of at Arsenal because I cannot think of anyone you're thinking of in that position. There's no one. Xhaka is not good enough. Lokonga.
Yeah.
Lokonga.
If I had a good number 8, it like a dynamite, I would play like for instance, let's just say if we had Van der Beek.
Yeah.
If we had Van der Beek in our side, I'd play Van der Beek and Lokonga. I'll drop Partey.
You drop Partey?
Yeah.
You
know the reason? You know the reason? Can I tell you my reasons?
Yeah.
I feel a player like Donny Van der Beek has more to offer than Thomas Partey.
In going forward or overall?
Overall. And the weaknesses of Donny Van der Beek, I have a perfect match for them, and that is Albusami Lokonga. Because for me, Lokonga is the only perfect, the only perfect defensive midfielder we have at Arsenal. The only perfect defensive midfielder. He's just perfect. Just perfect. Like, just perfect as a player. He knows the basics. He does them well. He knows his role. He does it well. And he does it cleanly with top-notch discipline. Yeah. It's never gonna. You're never gonna see him pick up those, stupid yellows and stupid red cards. Never. Yeah. He's so good at what he does. DM, that is your man. Xhaka Partey as number 8 with no option. Partey. If I have a Donny Van der Beek, sorry Partey, you're so good. We celebrated when we bought you. I'm going for Donny. He creates more chances. He drives more. He scores more. I'm going with Donny. Because for me, I think we need a number 8, definitely. We need a number 8, and we do not have one. If look, let me ask you. If you had Partey, Cazorla, Lokonga, and you had to play only 2 of them, who are you playing? Partey, Cazorla, and Lokonga.
I'd play Partey and Cazorla personally.
I wouldn't play Partey.
Partey in the same position Coquelin was playing. That would just be a massive improvement on what we had. You wouldn't play Partey. I think Partey offers so much more as well. Like the discipline in midfield, he knows which position he needs to be. He knows when to go forward. His passes. That goal he scored over the weekend against Norwich when Pepe hit the post. Saka is the one pass. It's a Partey goal. He actually hit that ball to Saka through their midfield, and Saka passed the ball to Pepe, and we were through. So I think Partey will do a great. But I think we've been given so much, so less, to the point that we don't know any other players to the point of
definitely.
Definitely. We're settled for that, basically.
And I'm gonna clear my name before we leave the show. I'm not saying Partey is poor. I am a very big Partey fan, very very big. But what I just mean is there are those central midfielders that we do not have, and they do so much. Just imagine Kimmich. If you Kimmich and Goretzka. That's what I'm talking about. Kimmich
is a defender who plays as a midfielder. Wow, he's so good.
Kimmich and Goretzka, and they are on another level, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very good. I mean, Bayern have been good for 10 years because they know which kind of players to buy and which players to bring from the academy.
Yeah.
Those players
And
are really good. That team is well drilled.
they took Sabitzer, man. They took Marshall Sabitzer.
They're very good. And if they add, and they keep on adding players, very good players. You know, the likes of Robin and Ribery retired long time ago, but they're still adding more players. So
Yeah,
we'll come
and I think if they keep this squad growing, the one they have currently, it's gonna be one of the best squads they have ever had.
Very, very true. So last topic I wanted to ask you about is we've been talking about our strikers. Ivan Toney did an interview and he said, you know, Arsenal need a striker. Even though he was a bit like joking, I do not take that as a joke. I take that as I want Brentford to lose every single game this season. I take it very seriously. So would you? I can't wait for us to smash them 5-0 at the Emirates. So do you think he's right? Do you think we are lacking because of strikers?
Well, you can never be sure with with us at the moment, with the level of creativity and the amount of chances we are creating. How many times are our players going through? How many times are our players, getting one-on-ones? I mean, not so many. But again, it goes back to what I said. You need that kind of striker because modern day strikers have become very different. They help you build the attacks. They help you build play. So if he's talking about that in that in that sense, a clinical striker like Ken that again helps you build play again like Ken that also helps you to manage the game. Hurricane, yes, we need a Hurricane. We don't need just any kind of striker. It's not any kind of striker. So if Ivan Toney says we need any kind of striker, we need Ivan Toney, he's wrong. We don't need Ivan Toney. We need a complete striker, better than what we have, right? We need someone who's far better than what we have. Very, very, ahead.
Yeah.
So not an Ivan Toney, but he's right. You need an all-round striker. Lacazette, not good at finishing, but good at holding up play. Aubameyang, good at finishing. He really doesn't get, he doesn't get, to engage the team. He doesn't get to pull the team together, despite that he's, the fact that he's a captain. You don't see any kind of, magnet like you see with Lukaku or Raul Jimenez or Hurricane. So you need that kind of striker at the end of the day. You need that kind of striker. You need that kind of striker. Even Erling Haaland does it. Falls back and he's gonna run with the ball, and that's why you see whenever the likes of Marco Rias or Giovanni Reina getting in those goal scoring positions, they do have the opportunities because he literally creates space for them, and he creates the chances for them. So we need a complete striker. But that's for me, that is something that we can worry about in the next summer.
Okay, so this is what he had to say. He said there was a difference between the Championship and the Premier League. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't crazy. Like if you make a mistake, it's going to end up in the back of the goal. That sounds like he's playing Manchester City. That is what would happen if you're playing Man City. I didn't really see that, basically talking about Arsenal now. They were good at keeping the ball, but it didn't really affect us. They weren't as crazy as I thought they would be. I don't know how crazy I thought we would be. I don't know if it was whether they weren't so good or we just excited as it was our first game into Arsenal and Premier League and all these things coming into the picture. And then he also went to say, I just didn't see them how they used to be. He used to look at Arsenal and think they were crazy and they were going to win this game. Those days, I don't see them winning. These days, I don't win anything soon. Who is Ivan Toney to say Arsenal is not going to win anything soon? He's right. I know he's right. But I mean, he's not Lewandowski. Who the hell is Ivan Toney talking about Arsenal? Because he played for Pira.
If Aston Villa, and I already say this, if Aston Villa can knock on your door as Arsenal Football Club and ask for one of your best players in Emile Smith Rowe, you're in trouble. Right? You're in big, big trouble. You're in huge trouble.
Come on. I mean, I want them.
You see, it's the respect that Arsenal had has dropped to that level. I really do watch Mikel Arteta's press conferences, and I don't feel they're press conferences of a big team anymore. They are not. They're not. When did you last? When did you last hear journalists say so? What does this mean for your season, especially that Chelsea, Manchester City, and United are winning games? Like, when did we last hear that? So many months ago. I mean, so many years ago, actually, not so many months ago. So Ivan Toney coming out and speaking about, speaking all this, all this trash against Arsenal. Sorry, but it's true. Arsenal is no longer a big team. Arsenal is no longer scary. Arsenal, because he's right. He gives us the respect. They expected an Arsenal that was going to blow it. They expect Arsenal to tear them apart. They expected Arsenal to have a good run in that game. We were shit. We were absolutely, I don't know. We were humbled, right? We were absolutely humbled. So he's right. He's right, Glenn. Arsenal has lost their respect everywhere. Everywhere. There is social media. That one is even worse. Social media is even worse. So we've lost the respect. No one respects us. Jamie Vardy, that is Ivan Toney. Jamie Vardy, around 5 years ago, he said, "I'm not going to Arsenal because I'm looking at them as a dropping club. They're going to fail." Jamie Vardy is not a fucking prophet. Vardy is not a prophet. Vardy is... Who is Vardy? Who is Vardy? A Leicester City striker, isn't he? But Vardy made a prophecy and it has come true against Arsenal. He's made a prophecy that we are going to drop, that we are going to fail, and we have failed. That's it. That's it. So, Glenn, the truth is Arsenal has just become the kind of club that is just a laughing stock. The gift that keeps on giving, and we always give for the wrong reasons and to the wrong people. You there? Technology, isn't it?
I mean, it's looking like Brentford have attacked our stream. Brentford, after what you said, it looks like they've attacked us. So let's take a few comments and then we end it before it freezes again. Cozy, please, I know you're a bold lad. Drop Leno for Ramsdale. He should be sat so as for him to improve. De Gea at Man United has come back improved after having been sat. That's true. De Gea actually came back a better player. You're not wrong. Lokonga is miles off Partey's level in central midfield. Let's put some respect on his name.
No. No, you didn't give me. He didn't get me right. He didn't get me right. Partey is a very good player. Partey is a very, very good player. To be precise, in terms of midfield, he is the complete finished article we have in Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one of the only few players we have. Yeah.
I only said to play Partey as a central midfielder, right? Playing Partey, because at the moment it is Lokonga and Partey. That is our best pivot, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but if I got a player who can do central midfield better, I ain't dropping Lokonga. I'm dropping Partey. And that's crazy. I said it would be crazy. I said it would be crazy. Because for me, as a DM, Lokonga is not so good at, these other, things as, CM. But as a DM, tackling, things like that, vision, backing up the defenders, he's better than Partey. Partey. But Partey is generally, Partey is the better. Is the better player. So don't get me wrong. I know he's the only, piece of gold we have. So am I trying to trash the piece of gold?
No, absolutely not. So as David has said in the chat, when Tony keeps his team up, he can talk about Arsenal. Very right, but yeah, it's usually painful when the likes of Troy Deeney and these guys talk about Arsenal. Like it's not good. And Kosi, before we end it, how many points should Arsenal pick up from the next three games? From the next three games, we have Tottenham, Burnley first, Tottenham, and then Brighton before the next international break. I'm obviously assuming we definitely beat Wimbledon, and then from those three games, we've won the first of the four after the international break. How many do you want from those 9 points to be happy?
Maximum 9, realistically 7.
Wow, you want 7 points. So I think 7 points as well. Yeah.
And what I think we will get is 4.
Oh no! Which team are we winning? Which game are we winning?
Let me tell you something. We are beating Burnley. We are edging Burnley. We are drawing to Spurs.
Yeah.
We are losing to Brighton.
Losing to Brighton.
Mark my words.
Again. I'm tired of Brighton. Brighton is just like a Brentford again.
Yeah,
7 points in the next 9.
Graham Potter's got the philosophy, and I think he will beat us with his philosophy.
Well, if it's anything near Harry Potter, then we're in big trouble. So thank you very much for coming on. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you're watching on Facebook. Make sure to follow the page. Make sure to follow Koz's channel. The link his channel is in the title, so make sure to click that and go and follow him as well. He'll be back to posting later on today as well. So as of now, thank you for watching. We discussed Saka, Lacazette, and our next 3 fixtures also discussed Ivan Toney, so you can watch it back. As of now, thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.